Looking at the rate at which women are getting involved in the technology world, it is really quite alarming. It is a stereotype that men are meant for the technology and women are meant to do some other things. Today I'm going to bring to you a lady, the first lady who was a programmer, who wrote the first codes of a machine that was meant to be a computer, who was called Ada Lovelace. Was born on the 10th of December in 1815. She was born in London, in England, and she was a mathematician from a very illiterate age. Ada had passion for math and was the only legal child of the poet who was called Lord Byron and Lady Byron, who was the mother. The father was a poet and separated from the wife a month after the birth of Ada, and commemorated the parting of his poems by saying, "Is thy face like thy mother's, my fair child Ada, sole daughter of the house and the heart?" He later on died when Ada was 8 years. The mother remained bitter and promoted Ada's interest in mathematics and music in an effort to prevent her from growing the father's perspective of insanity. Though, despite this, Ada remained interested in his father and named the sons after the father, who was their grandfather. Although often ill, Ada pursued her studies after her education, and social exploits brought her into contact with very many different influential people like Andrew Cross, who was a scientist and an experimenter in the use of electricity, Charles Babbage, a mathematician, a philosopher and an inventor who was also known as the father of computers, Charles Dickens, an English writer and social critic, and very many others who helped her for her future and education and to develop her mind more. Ada is known for her work on Charles Babbage's proposed mechanical general purpose machine. She drafted plans for a machine that was called the analytical engine. Ada Lovelace was the first world's female author and computer programmer. Babbage's machine was a brass, iron and steel machine, and he invented it in 1837. The engine was designed to carry out different mathematical operations, which included a central processing unit which he called the mill and an expandable memory called the store. In 1843, Charles Babbage asked Ada to translate the description of the engine written by the Italian mathematician, and Lovelace did just that and added more notes, which ended up being 3 times more longer than the translation and looked like this. It included some of his calculations, which had some errors, and she collected, which showed that she was very intelligent, but also went ahead to demonstrate how the machine could calculate brain-teasing sequence figures. She is believed to have been the first fellow to realize that that machine had more applications than just pure calculations, for having been able to publish the first algorithm, which was intended to be carried out by the machine. She said it could be used for practical and scientific purposes, and had hopes that the machine would one day compose music of any kind of extent like the computers that we are using today. The analytical engine machine was a general purpose computer that was designed by Charles Babbage for a simpler mechanic computer. Lovelace's translations were published and were received, though it wasn't well built due to the lack of funding, and for a while her story was forgotten. 101 years later, her work was republished. That is when people started to rebuild the computers that she had visioned. She loved to call herself an analyst and a metaphysician, though Charles Babbage called her an enchantress of numbers. Another passage from Ada's notes, cited by Doran Squid, illustrates this vision of a universal calculator and says, "Many people imagine that because the machine provides results in a digital form, then the nature of its processes must necessarily be arithmetic and numeric rather than algebraic or analytical. This is a mistake. The machine can arrange and combine numeric quantities exactly as if they were letters or any other general symbol. In fact, it can give results in algebraic notation with appropriate conventions." Ada is celebrated annually every second Tuesday of October, and that is the day that is meant to celebrate women who have been able to merge in science, technology, engineering and math, which is commonly known as STEM. And Ada is the name of the artificial intelligence that co-pilots the gypsy robot in the video game. Ada was married to William King Noel, that is the Count of Lawrence, and they had 3 children. She died of uterine cancer on the 27th of November in 1852 at the age of 36. Ada was buried in accordance with her wish. She wished to be buried next to her father, and that is where she was buried. Why did I talk about Ada Lovelace? There are few women in technology. There are few women who fear to take up the chances of being a programmer, sitting down and writing the codes, inventing something that is of your own. Females have a mentality that technology is meant for men, and this comes to challenge us, this comes to challenge our minds. She was a lady among all men who was able to write down codes, who was able to program. You can also do it. You can also join the technology world because there are vacancies in this place. We are few women who are going to be able to take up the lead and join technology. Can you be among those few women, like the way Ada Lovelace was? Her work was not there and then recognized, but later on it did not go in vain. That is why she is even remembered currently. That shows that she was a very powerful woman. You can also become a powerful woman in any kind of aspect. Remember to subscribe to keep posted of our videos that are meant to inspire people in the technology world. You can be part of it if the other person can, then why not you? This is Be Inspired. I have been Ashawahira Erina. Until next time, may God bless you and thank you for watching.